Thomas, on you, my brother.
Hey man, let me just begin by expressing my gratitude for the opportunity to be here. I thank Brother Daniels for providing this platform to share with you all. And I love the title of the link itself because it speaks to one of the primary purposes and missions that we foster and we hold on to as a congregation. And so we are thankful for being able to join with men who are working to be encouraged to be authentic men. One of the things, the definitions that we live by in our group, and we've shared this in other platforms, is that the goal of an authentic man is one who rejects passivity, one who accepts responsibility, one who leads courageously, one who invests eternally. And so I'm thankful for these occasions. These are moments where we have an opportunity to refresh, to remember, to realign and rejoice, especially in light of the critical plight of men of valor and men who are working to do just that. And I'm especially gravitating towards that notion of men of valor. I want to just take a moment and recognize the fact that we do have the men of the veldt in the house with the men of valor. And so we celebrate that. You all have a part of our name in your name, and so that means that we family. You know, y'all are men of valor. We're men of the veldt, and veldt stands for valor, amen, excellence, leadership, and truth. And so we join with you, and we thank God for the opportunity. Again, I thank Brother Daniels for the privilege of being here. I'm especially humbled to be able to present with him and to share with him, especially for those of you that know him. He is absolutely a gift from God to the entire world. And I thank him for seeing confidence in me sharing with you. Now, let me invite your attention to the text. I want to spend all of the time that I have in the text. And as the old preachers say, my time starts now. Psalm 124, very quickly, Psalm 124. I'm going to read it from the English Standard Version of the Bible. I want to share with you three stops out of the text, and then the thought will be yours. Psalm 124, if you're not there, just listen to the text. If it had not been the Lord who was on our side. Let Israel now say, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side. When people rose up against us, then they would have swallowed us up alive. When their anger was kindled against us, then the flood would have swept us away. The torrent would have gone over us. Then over us would have gone the raging waters. Blessed be the Lord who has not given us as prey to their teeth. We have escaped like a bird from the snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken and we have escaped. Our help is in the name of the Lord who made the heavens and the earth. Beautiful text. And that text is a reminder of at least three things when you and I think in terms of the occasion where we find ourselves. I want you to notice number one out of the text, just the first couple of verses, the psalmist offers what we will consider a poetic pondering moment. You would remember that Psalm 124 is in the collection of Psalms, 120 all the way to the end, about 134, of what's called Psalms of Degrees or Psalms of Ascension. And these are Psalms. They are Psalms that were really songs, S-O-N-G-S. Songs that were sung as the people of God were on their way up to Jerusalem. They would gather and they would come together and they would sing these songs on their way up to Jerusalem. Well, one of the things that we find in Psalm 124 is that it's one of those Psalms. But as he's reading, it's an antiphonal song, an antiphonal type song, which is why verses 1 and 2 is as it is. Notice what it says: if it had not been for the Lord who was on our side, let Israel now say. It's a call and response. But I want you to grab out of it that the psalmist gives us a poetic pondering point. He reframed the question and hear it for your own self. If it had not been the Lord who was on our side, now let Israel say. Look at it another way. In other words, you and I have to always stop, take a moment, and be reflective over the fact that if it wasn't God on your side, you'd be in some trouble. Be respectful of the fact that it's not you who navigates through what you go through, but it is your God. And be reminded of the fact that there's an occasion in your life as you go through the soundtracks of your up and your down, your ebb and your flows, your highs and your lows, the good and the bad. It's always the Lord who got you through. It wasn't because you were savvy. It wasn't because you were slick. It wasn't because you know how to talk. It wasn't because your mouthpiece is so nice. It wasn't because of your swag or your flavor or your flair. It's always because of the Lord. You say amen when you can. It's not because of who you think you are. It's because of the Lord who got you through. And if you know it's the Lord who got you through, watch, because the poetic pondering point is a setup. Remember this. All reflection is a setup for rejoicing. All reflection is a setup for rejoicing. Anybody who has enough sense to know that when you start thinking through your life and really going back over the things you've been through, especially those of you that have lived longer than 2 days, when you start thinking about all of what you've gone through and you start kicking back how God brought you through this. And I remember how I used to hang out with Lil Willie and them. And I remember how God kept me from going to prison, or how God got me out of prison, or how God saved me when I was in prison. I remember when I was on the stoop. I remember all of the things you remember and all the stuff that should have happened to you. Your reflection is a setup for your rejoicing, which is why the psalmist does what he does. Watch what he does. Watch what he does. First stop, you see the poetic pondering. Right there at the first couple of verses. He gives you that nugget for you and I to bring our thinking back into alignment, to reflect on who God is. Watch, if it had not been for the Lord, then, it ought to bring it up to make you say, then. If it had not been for the Lord, then what? Watch number two. Number two out of the psalm, you see that the psalmist goes into two poetic pictures. Number one, you see the poetic pondering point. But number two, you see these poetic pictures. Watch this poetic picture. He brings in two metaphors to give you the then of the question. The then of the question, if it had not been for the Lord, then what? Number one, he brings up a picture of a flood, verse number 3. Then he's going to bring up a picture of a fowler, verse number 7. I need y'all to see both of those. When we read through the text, you see he brings up the flood. Why does he bring up the flood? Because remember, it's going back to the question. If it had not been for the Lord, then the flood would have got me. Wait, y'all moving too fast. What's so significant about the flood? When you think about the flood, come on in now, men of God. When you think about the flood, all floods in your life, when the flood comes, remember this is an Eastern Palestinian setting. This ain't Florida. This ain't Texas. This is not Minnesota. This is not New York. This is Eastern Palestine, the Palestinian area, and the arid, dry spot. So when the rain comes, it comes hard, and the floods rise quickly, and they sweep over the land. I need you to see it. Flood, in the mind of this traveler, a flood would come suddenly. A flood would come with great pace and tempo. But not only would the flood come suddenly, the flood would come saturatingly. It would saturate and inundate all of the area around you. The flood, in addition to that, would be sweeping. Notice something about the flood. It would dominate and move throughout every part of the area. The flood would come suddenly. The flood would saturate. The flood would be sweeping. The flood would be strong. Do you not know that when floods happen in your life, when floods happen in that area, a flood is not the kind of water that you say, let me go on and get my little swim in. Let me take a dip. No, you don't swim in a flood. A flood takes over you. You can see this. You can see it even in our recent American culture. You know how floods will affect a place. And the only thing left after a flood, watch this, floods happen suddenly. Floods happen saturatingly. Floods happen sweepingly. Floods happen, they are strong, but floods also are systematic, meaning that a flood is designed by nature to kill you. Oh, y'all missed it. You missed it. Let me take you hermeneutically through one simple principle. Anytime you really want to understand the meaning of a term, go back to the original use of the term, the first mention of a term, especially in the Bible. The first mention of a flood in scripture was to destroy. When he mentions the flood now, you are able to appreciate that the power of the flood in this context as well, and the why he keeps saying, if it had not been for the Lord, then the flood would have killed me. That's what it's designed to do. And watch, he describes the fact that the flood systematically, in the suddenness of it and the saturating power and the sweeping power and the strength of it, it was moving to kill me if it had not. Y'all, watch the second picture. Watch the second picture. I'm trying to make sure I'm honoring the time. The second picture, watch. He mentions the flood, verse 3. But then he talks about the fowler, verse 7. The fowler. What in the world is a fowler? I can see all the Bible students. What the world is a fowler? A fowler is a hunter. Why does he talk about the hunter? Think about this. The psalmist is putting himself in a position where he says, if the flood would have got me, but the fowler would have got me. Wait, a flood is overt. It's obvious. It's sudden. You can't miss it. But the fowler is subtle. The fowler is crafty. The fowler is cunning. Y'all still missing it. See, when the fowler is coming after you, it won't be obvious. When the fowler is coming after you, it's the hook in the worm. It's the poison in the sugar. Y'all still ain't on the stage with me. When the fowler's coming after you, the fowler is comprehensive, meaning that the fowler, watch what a fowler does. A good hunter is not going to go out and say, hey, look at here. I want all the rabbits to come over here so I can shoot them. I need all of the squirrels to come over here so I need all of the deer to come over here. No. What a good hunter will do is he will learn what you like. Y'all still ain't on the stage with me. When we deal with the fowlers in our life, the reason why the enemy is so successful against you is because he first does intel on you. He knows your dimensions. He knows I'm interested in them curves. I'm interested in that. This is a men's empowerment. We can talk. I'm interested in that. That's just my speed. I'm interested in, she got the fishnets on. Oh Lord, what? I'm interested. That's my drink. That's my song. That's my jam. That's my swag. That's my time. That's my day. It's Friday. You ain't got nothing to do. I'm about to get you. You know how that goes. It goes all the way through. The fowler knows exactly what's on your mind. The fowler knows how to whisper in your spirit exactly what needs to be whispered in your spirit. The fowler even knows that when you are down and out, that's when somebody comes up and says, oh, boo, not you. You should be the one. You ought to be the one doing this. I can't believe they didn't choose you. The fowler knows exactly what the code is to get you to want to jump out of the reality and be plugged into a matrix that you know ain't real. I hope some of y'all catch that reference. The fowler knows everything about you. But let me get you this. The fowler, even though he's crafty, even though it's cunning, even though it's comprehensive, the fowler is cold, heartless, and the fowler is cruel. In the text, you notice that he says we would have escaped the teeth of the fowler. What's the point? The point is that even the fowler, like the flood is designed to kill you. The fowler is designed to consume you. That's why some entrapments in your life are so difficult to get out of. Listen to me, brothers. It's not by chance that you find yourself in addictive behavior to where your dopamine registers and your placebo registers and everything else will get to a spot where the moment you hear ice in a glass, you can taste your liquor. The moment you hear somebody sniff, you can taste the cocaine. The moment you get a whiff in the air, it downloads every moment. The moment you hear a name or a song or whatever, it's why the fowler is so significant. Life happens in such a way, life happens in such a way where it is unrelenting, it is subtle, it is sinister. But in all of these occasions with your flood and your fowler, they are designed to do one thing, and that's to take you out of being a man who rejects passivity, a man who accepts responsibility, a man who leads courageously, a man who invests eternally. Your flood and your fowler is aiming to take you out. And if it had not been for the Lord, as you poetically ponder, then the picture of the flood would have got you. The picture of the fowler would have taken you out. But can I give you this third thing and I'm done? There's a parenthetical posture that you need to take. Right in the middle of the pictures, the flood, and the fowler. At verse number 6, the psalmist drops this nugget just right there. Bless the Lord. In the middle of the flood and in the middle of the fowler. Watch your poetic parenthetical prayer. You know, parentheses, like two, right in the middle, you've got a parenthetical praise point. Bless the Lord, bless the Lord, bless the Lord. In the middle of the text, in the middle of the pictures, in the middle of two extremes. Notice the encouragement of the Psalms. Sometimes you've got to stop in the middle of the madness and bless the Lord. Sometimes you've got to stop before you bust and before you cuss, bless the Lord. Sometimes you need to realign. You need to get your heart right. You need to rejoin God. We need to rejoice in the middle of whatever you're going through. While you're tempted, while you're about to blow it, while you're about to Lord, stop and do what you need to do with God has encouraged me. Bless the Lord. Instead of me slipping and instead of me being caught, let me bless the Lord. In other words, what I'm trying to encourage you to do, and here's the point of what I want you to get, always learn to just stay in the middle. In the middle. Don't go to the flood. Don't go to the fowler. Stay in the middle. In the middle is where you bless. In the middle is where you praise. In the middle is where you realign. In the middle is where you focus. In the middle is where God will see you through whatever you got to go through. So hear me, brother. In a nutshell, just stay in the middle. Stay in the middle. Don't let the flood get you. Don't let the fowler get you. Just bless the Lord. Stay in the middle. God bless you. Thank you for your
attention. Yeah. Come on. Y'all show the brothers some love this morning. What a word, what a word, what a word, what a word. So Thomas, I knew you was gonna blow the setup this morning, man. You you did exactly what I thought you was gonna do. Man, what a word. Y'all shoot that brother hard, hand, put your foot up there if you got to do what you got to do, man. Let him know we appreciate this word on it. That's a real word. That's a whole word this morning. A whole word this morning, Tom. Appreciate you, man. Love with love.
Yes. God bless.
Yeah. And you know when you speaking to a man speaking to you, and he know your language, because he can talk. You know what I'm saying. You know he talking about what y'all talking about. So Thomas, appreciate you, man, and appreciate you for being authentic. Now I tell you how it really is, good people. Before we go to God in prayer, I said, Thomas, send me a glamour shot or a mug shot so I can kind of post it up. He said, man, I'm gonna send you a pic. He walked out the door, took a picture, and he took one in the house. He said, take your pic. He just pulled up his phone and took a pic. That's how it really is right there. Yeah, do what you want to do. And most of these other brothers, they got glamour shots.
Yeah.
Brushed over and all. Thomas, man, ain't nobody got time. Hey, appreciate you, man. Love you.